Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Cooking with Kevin. Happy Wahoo Wednesday. Today's recipe is going to be quick, simple, easy, and even the kids can do this. We're going to do the ultimate, impossible bacon cheeseburger pie. We'll see you in a second. Come on into the kitchen with me.
He's got the pan, he's got the heat, making magic you can eat. Flip it, stir it, season right. Kevin's cooking up tonight. From the skillet to the plate, every bite is gonna be great. Grab a fork, come on in. It's time to cook with Kevin.
Pie. So of course we have the ground beef. Whatever beef mixture you would use to make your burgers at home, whether it's 100% beef, whether it's 80-20, we like to do an 80-20 beef mix, 3/4 of a pound of 80-20 with 1/4 pound of veal. Some of you like to use pork and veal and beef when you're making your burgers. Whatever you would make your burgers with, that's the beef I want you to use for today's recipe. We have some spices, your burger spices, whatever spices you would use at home. Montreal steak spice, of course, salt and pepper, because salt and pepper pretty much goes in everything. We have 2 eggs, 5 strips of your favorite bacon. We're going to need a cup of cheddar. I have some Velveeta, some 15% cooking cream or light cooking cream, some milk. The recipe calls for a Bisquick. As you know me, I like to do things a little different. I'm going to use the Red Lobster Cheddar Bay Biscuit Mix to do this. All right, that's all you need. It's simple, it's easy, and of course, your favorite 9-inch pie pan. Doesn't matter if it's metal, doesn't matter if it's cast iron like mine is, your favorite 9-inch pie pan. That's all you need. Like I said earlier, the kids can do this. It's simple, easy. Let's get cooking. In the pan, that's basically going to make the bun for the beef. 1/2 cup of the Red Lobster Cheddar Bay Biscuit Mix. We have 2 large eggs. And we have a cup of milk. You're going to want to blend all this so it is nice and smooth and liquidy. I mean, that was pretty much lightning quick. We're going to go over here. We're going to check on the beef. While all this is going on, warm up your oven to 400 degrees. Make sure your oven is getting ready. I have lightly pre-greased the pie plate and to get it ready. And we're going to keep cooking this until it is cooked and brown. And then I'm going to drain it. Add a bit more flavoring to it once it's drained, and we will go and finish it from there. So the beef has been drained, so now we're going to cook it to make it brown. We're going to add about a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 teaspoon of salt with 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. We're going to do a little bit of onion powder and garlic powder. And of course, your favorite burger seasoning, whether it be Montreal steak spice, some sort of smoked flavoring. I am using Weber Flavor Bomb Burger. That's what we're going to put in ours for seasoning to make it taste like a burger. Because that's the whole idea of this. We're going to keep cooking it till it's nice and brown and ready to go. And then we'll move on to the next step, which as we continue to go, it just gets easier and easier. We're actually almost done, except for putting it in the oven part. So once this is all nice and brown, we're going to put it into our lightly pre-greased 9-inch pie pan. Now that our beef is nice and brown and finished, we can put it into our lightly greased 9-inch pie pan. Again, you can use a tinfoil one, you can use a thin metal one, you can use a cast iron one. I know some people out there have the non-stick rubber ones, whatever they're called. I'm not a huge fan of those, but to each their own. Whatever you decide you want to use, you want to use. We're going to now put the cup of cheddar cheese over top of the beef. Okay, I know some people say, well, why don't you just mix it in with the Bisquick mix? What happens with that is if you do that, you're not guaranteed you're going to get an even spread. All right, so there's the 1 cup of whatever cheddar cheese you want, sharp cheddar, Havarti, whatever you want to use. We're just going to give this one quick mix here, just to make sure that it's mixed well. And then what we're going to do is we are going to pour it nice and evenly over top of this. Be sure to get around the outsides, very important. Pour it over, get it in all nice and even, just like that. And then now what you do, which is a very important part, is you want to give this a shake. Okay? I wouldn't even mind if you wanted to give it a bit of a stir. If you give it a bit of a stir, then you know the mix is also getting to the bottom and it's completely around everything. Okay? As you can see, I have a little bit of cheese right there. And that cheese is there because about halfway through the cooking, we're going to take a peek like we always do, and we're going to add a little bit more cheese to the top because it will start to cook and form up. Please don't cover it. 400 degrees, middle oven rack, 30 minutes. Check it to make sure it's nice and clean coming out. Check it with a knife. If it's nice and clean coming out, it's done. So let's throw this bad boy in the oven and we'll take a peek at it. For you, it will be. And we're going to take a look at this in about 45 seconds to see how we're doing and to add that last little quarter cup of cheese. While we're doing this, we're now going to take our 5 pieces of bacon. We're going to pan fry them. In the back, you can see I have the Cheese Whiz. So what I have is I have a cup of the Cheese Whiz with a quarter cup of 15% cooking cream. If you don't have 15% cooking cream where you live, then it's like a coffee cream or a light cream. So we're going to do this nice and slowly in a thick bottom pan so it doesn't burn. We're going to heat it slowly. The bacon we're going to do up so it's nice and crisp so we can cut it into big pieces for the final part. And we have 5 seconds left, so let's take a look and see how we're doing with our ultimate impossible cheeseburger pie. And of course, me making mistakes and turning the oven off instead of the timer off. Isn't that fun? Oh, yes, I did. Look at that. Now we're going to take this quarter cup of cheese and we're just going to sprinkle it nice and evenly over top. And we're going to put it back in the oven for about another 30 minutes. Check it after 20 just to be safe to make sure that you're not overcooking it. But that's how we look so far. And in my opinion, that looks absolutely fantastic. As you can see, the bacon is done and the cheese sauce is melted to being almost perfect. We're just going to keep that on the lowest possible setting just to kind of keep it warm. The Velveeta cheese sauce, and like I said, it's a cup of Velveeta with about a quarter cup of 15% cooking cream. If you don't have 15% cooking cream where you are, it's called light cream or coffee cream. So that's where we're going. We still have about between 8 and 18 minutes left on it. We're going to check it in 8 minutes to see how the ultimate impossible bacon cheeseburger pie is doing. But between now and then, we're going to cut that. It's been 20 minutes, and let's take a look. So in total, it's been 50 minutes. Let's take a look and see how we go. Look at that beautiful little thing right there. Now what we're going to do is you can take a knife, a toothpick, whatever you have that's sharp. We're going to put it in the dead center, and we're going to pull it out. And you see nothing stuck to it, so we're all good. That means that is good to go. We're going to put this in something that's a little bit easier to pour. And we're going to let all this sit for about 8 to 10 minutes. And when we come back, we're going to cut it and plate it and enjoy some supper. Time to put this bad boy on a plate and in our bellies. So now what we're going to do is, of course, that's hot a little bit. It's actually not too bad. We're going to take a sharp knife and we're going to cut around the edge. Just like that, all the way around. We're going to cut it into 4. While I'm doing this, we bought some new stuff this week for the show. We have a new camera, which will debut next week. Rhonda bought a stand-up mixer, and she also bought a knife sharpening stone. And as many of you know, if you saw last week's show, you'll understand why she bought a knife sharpening stone. You need to go back and take a look at that just in case you don't catch what's going on. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to bring some new things in and see how all of it goes. Let's take this out. Loosen all this up a little bit. Get in underneath of it. There we go. It's not funny, eh? That beautiful non-stick pie pan that I seasoned, that I took hours and hours and hours to season, and that stuck to that, didn't it? It sure did. Let's take a different spatula. And maybe that will make it easier than trying to get it out with that little pie plate. Oh yeah, there we go. That's much better. Nice and hot and steaming. Now comes, of course, as you always know, we do a little bit of a twist on this show. We have the Velveeta cheese. And if you want, you can fancy this up any way you feel fit. You can put diced tomatoes on this, lettuce, pickles, whatever you seem fit to do, you go right ahead. Rhonda and I are kind of like plain cheeseburger type people. Rhonda likes tomatoes and lettuce on hers, but today she said no to this. And now we're going to take some bacon and we're going to sprinkle it over top. And that is our fantastic, ultimate, impossible bacon cheeseburger pie. That is another week of cooking in the kitchen with Kevin. We hope you enjoyed today's recipe. Like I said, simple, easy, ultimate, impossible bacon cheeseburger pie. Turned out really good. Very happy with how it turned out. We hope everybody had a good time. Please remember to be kind to each other. And if you have a chance, sometime this week, let somebody in your life know that you care. Never leave them guessing. You never know. Tomorrow is not guaranteed for all of us. We have some great recipes coming up. Next week is spaghetti lasagna. The week after, we have Easter pot roast pies, followed by pastizio, a fantastic Greek lasagna. And then we're going to try simplifying one of the famous fallow pies. Until next time, have a great week. Remember, watch the bloopers. Like, follow, say hi, make a comment. See you next week. Welcome to another edition of Cooking with Kevin. I'm the Macho Man Kevin. This week we're gonna take on the ultimate, the impossible cheeseburger pie. Oh yeah! Come on into the kitchen. I didn't do that voice at the end. Welcome to another edition of Cooking with Kevin. I'm the ultimate. Welcome to another edition of Cooking with Kevin. I'm the Macho Man Kevin. And this week we're gonna take on the ultimate, the impossible cheeseburger pie. And I did it wrong again. Because it's fucking bacon cheeseburger pie. Welcome to another edition of Cooking with Kevin. I'm the Macho Man Kevin, and this week we're gonna take on the ultimate, the impossible bacon cheeseburger pie. Ooh, yeah! Come on into the kitchen with me.